Hello.
Officer.
I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded. I think you know why I stopped you. You ran the red light.
What actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
So
I was
forced
behind
to
you
turn
the whole
left.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically you're not supposed to enter the intersection at all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you run the red light. So that's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Do you know the
Yep.
entrance to Johnson, that street?
Thank you. Do you have the registration and insurance?
Yes.
Do you remember where you pointed to when you Yeah, so if, like, you know that light
Let me just get this for you out.
just before it?
You what?
I'm just gonna get this out for you.
Okay.
That street. What?
So would you explain that to me a little bit further? So in Pennsylvania, when you're stuck like in their intersection, you have to make the left. So what would the appropriate thing for me to have done been?
Not-
Just
You're
back up
not
in that
supposed to
situation?
block an intersection like that in Washington, so just by you blocking the intersection, that's technically a ticketable violation, and then then you're running a red light, so it's another ticketable offense. So you're not supposed to proceed into the intersection until you can go, because a lot of people do what you just did, right? Is like you're sitting in the intersection waiting, and then turns, and then you're blocking, so.
Yeah, there was a little bit of confusion with speeding because someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing, and then they put on their light to turn. So I thought that maybe they were letting me go through.
Oh,
Did you see that?
no.
Yeah, like right before I made the turn, there was someone who like made a right. And they didn't have their signal on, so I wasn't sure if they were just waiting.
Yeah, so I would just advise,
Yeah.
just don't enter the intersection until you can go, so you don't get stuck. Let's see.
But in that situation, the best thing to do then would be back up and not.
I don't know if there's a best
I
thing to do in
couldn't-
that situation, because you're either going to back up into somebody,
Yeah.
or you're going to run a red light. So, or you're going to be sitting in an intersection.
Yeah.
There's not really a great option there.
Yeah, I was just slightly into the crosswalk, so where I'm from Pennsylvania, we actually don't have like crosswalks.
Oh,
So even if
interesting.
you're kind of slightly, there's a little bit more leeway as well. Like there are a few lines. Like there's one white line and there's another one in front. Like there's like a certain
Yeah.
margin from which you can actually kind of place your vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know laws vary state to state, but there is a law
Yeah.
in Washington for blocking an intersection like that, proceeding through when
Yeah.
you don't, when you're just stalling. I forget the actual verbiage, I can find it for you, but it's like stalling, blocking an intersection.
Yeah. I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to.
Oh no, yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I'm not,
find
like,
it for you.
disagreeing with
Yeah.
anything. But,
1 second. That looks good on a Hyundai. I don't see Pennsylvania registration like at all. Okay, let's see. Expires November 22nd, or 2022. Okay. And,
yeah, one of those is actually.
yeah, okay, that looks good. I'll hand that back to you. I'm just going to go check your info. I'll try to find that RCW, the law for you, and I'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right. Sierra 331, code 4 driver.
Go ahead.
Last of Kohberger, King, Ocean, Henry, Boy, Edward, Robert, George, Edward, Robert. First of Bryan, Boy, Robert, Young, Adam, Nora. Middle C, Charles, date of birth 112194, Mount Washington.
Washington 2027. The vehicle is valid on a 2005 Hyundai Sonata.
Copy, it should be an Elantra. Received.
Copy, it might be. It actually says the DM, so it's my bad.
Here at 334 stopping.
334.
King 568889 through Idaho. Will be Stadium and Q parking lot.
1638.
Okay, so I found it. So I don't know what in Pennsylvania where you go to find laws, but in Washington it's called the Revised Code of Washington. So I'll try to turn my brightness up, but it's basically it's just called an RCW. So it's RCW 46.61.202. So it's no driver shall enter an intersection unless there is significant space on the other side of the intersection. To accommodate the vehicle, he is operating without obstructing the passage of other vehicles, despite any traffic control signal indications to proceed. So you had a green light, so you're thinking you can go, but you're blocking the intersection.
Yeah.
So that's, if you're ever curious in any laws in Washington, just Revised Code of Washington. So I'm not writing a ticket or anything like that today. I understand you're from Pennsylvania, but in the future, don't proceed through the intersection. You can't get stopped for that alone, unless you can clearly just clear it right away.
Okay.
So,
So then basically, I understand.
you're just supposed to wait behind the white line. Drivers do it all the time,
It
but
never even occurred to me that that was actually something wrong, but
yeah.
well, except for the fact that I was blocking the crosswalk, which is what
Yeah.
I went through.
And states vary a lot from laws. Like Pennsylvania might not even have that law, but in Washington we do.
I'm actually just from a very rural area, so we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh,
Unless I visit an area where there are
Gotcha.
crosswalks, and then it's not very frequent.
yeah.
Yeah, I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law. I wasn't trying to
No, not at
disagree
all.
with
Like,
you
I
or
understand you're not from here, so, if you don't, a lot of people don't know a bunch of laws. Like, I only know it because this is what I do, but, yeah. If you're ever curious on any more laws, just RCW, and they can be hard to read because it's in, like, legal language, but, hope that helps.
Definitely.
Yeah, have a good day.
Definitely you too.
Thanks.